Hello, this is Alan Berger back again with Bowling Over 50. This YouTube channel is designed for bowlers who are over 50 years old, seniors, or if you have a little lower ball speed or a little less rev rate. We give you tips and tricks and ball reviews to help you improve your bowling game. More to come right after this. So one of the things going on in the YouTube space right now is there are a lot of neat channels that show how to bowl with instructions and ball reviews, but most of those channels are produced by bowlers who have high ball speed, high rev rate, professional bowlers, and let's face it, we don't throw the ball like they do. Very few people in the world throw the ball as good as they do. But they're fun to watch, and I highly encourage you to go watch some of these channels. Brad and Kyle, The House Bowling, 220 Average Bowler, Beef and Barnsey, they do a great job. All those channels do a phenomenal job on teaching you the game and teaching you balls and things like that. We just do things a little bit different here because, face it, we don't have those skills. So if you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button so you get notified every time one of our new videos comes out. Today we're going to be talking about hook and why to hook the ball. So the USBC has done studies on what a good strike should be, or a position that the ball enters the pins in that gives you the highest opportunity to strike. Now, there is no guarantees. You can throw it absolutely perfect in the perfect part of the lane, hit the pins in the perfect way, and still not strike. But if you want to increase your chances, there is some numbers. So we're going to kind of geek out a little bit today and talk about the physics of bowling and why things work the way they work and why we hook the ball. So the first thing we need to talk about is the study that was done showed that a ball entering the pins in what we call the pocket, if you're right-hander, it's the 1-3. If you're left-hander, it's the 1-2. But entering, and those are numbers of pins. The pins are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the triangle stack. So if you're right-hander, and that's what mostly I'll be talking about today, is you want to enter the pocket which is the 1-3 on the right-hand side of the triangle. When you do that, the study shows that if you enter that pocket at a 5 to 7 degree angle, splitting the 1-3 at that angle, you have the best opportunity to strike. Now I'm going to show you a graphic here. If you were to throw the ball straight at that 5 to 7 degree angle, let's use 6, which is the red line here. To throw it straight and enter the pocket at that particular angle, you would have to start 2 lanes over if you threw it perfectly straight. The lane is only 40 inches wide and it's 60 feet long. And so to get it on a 5 to 7 degree angle as the ball enters the pins, the only way to do that on your lane is to hook the ball. Once you've hooked the ball can enter at 5 to 7 degrees. The red line on your picture here shows a 6 degree angle, so it's right in the middle. When the ball hits the pins at that angle, the ball will hit the 1, the 3, the 5, the 8, and the 9. That is all the pins that the ball will hit. The 1, 3, 5, 8, and 9. Those are the only pins that ball will hit going in at that angle. The rest of those pins take care of the 2-4-7 and the 6-10. So if you throw the perfect angle at 6 degrees, and hook it into that position, you will hit the 1, 3, 5, 8, 9. Then the pins will knock down the 2, 4, 7, 6, 10. So that is the diagram of what we consider a perfect strike. If you throw it at that angle, your chances of striking highly improve. But again, the only way to do that on your lane is to hook the ball. If you're going to try to throw straight at it, you would have to be 2 lanes over. So again, we're talking about physics, geometry, and things like that, kind of geeking out today about how a ball goes through the pins. So the ball goes through 3 phases on the lane when it goes down. So everybody knows there's oil on the lane. They're on a house shot, a typical house shot in most houses in America. There's a lot of oil in the middle and not so much oil on the outside. So there's no hook in the middle and a lot of hook on the outside part of the lane. So if you're to throw the ball in the middle of the lane, the ball kind of skids. It doesn't really hook at all because it's in oil. And then as it goes down the lane, as you move to the outside part of the lane, it gets drier and the ball does hook. So the ball has 3 phases as it goes down the lane. The first phase is a skid. It's in the oil, it's skidding down the lane, it's not hooking. The second part of that is that at some point down the lane, it starts to hook, meaning it's turning, if you're a right-hander, from right to left. It's hooking down the lane. Part of that's due to the ball, and part of that's how you throw the ball. So you hear me in other videos talk about whether a ball hooked too early or a ball hooked too late, it skid too far, or it hooked too early. Those are all terms about the skid and the hook phases of the ball. The last phase is the roll phase. So at some point down the lane, you want the ball to roll. The ball has a core in it, and that core is either asymmetrical, meaning the ball is a different weight or different center of gravity left to right as it does up and down. So as that ball is rolling, it's trying to right itself and get itself out of chaos and get something that is rolling smooth and that is symmetrical. So as it does that, it gets into the roll phase. A symmetrical ball is the same weight and balance left to right as it is top to bottom. So as you hook that ball, by turning your hand, that ball is in chaos and it's kind of flipping around. It gets down the lane and hooks a little bit, and then it starts to roll. It finds its happy place, its balance point, and it begins to roll towards the pins. So you need a ball that does all of those things. You need a ball that skids, you need a ball that hooks, and then you need a ball that actually rolls. If your ball does not do those 3 things, chances of getting a strike go way down. So it's where the ball hooks on the lane that determines whether you can get the ball on that 5 to 7 degree angle to enter the 1-3 pocket. Sometimes you need the ball to hook a little bit earlier so it rolls a little bit earlier and hits the pocket at that 6 degree angle. Sometimes you need the ball to go down the lane a little bit further before it starts to hook so you can get it on that 5 to 7 degree angle. So if you throw a shot and your ball skids too far down the lane and it starts to hook a little bit but never really rolls, the ball will deflect. Instead of hitting the 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, that ball will hit the 1, 3, might hit the 5, and then go to the right. So it's deflecting. If the ball rolls too early, it loses all of its power, all of its energy, and then doesn't hit the pins the right way, and the ball will then deflect again because it has no energy to go through the pins. And it might hit the 1, 3, might miss the 5 altogether, and then you don't get a strike. So when you throw a shot, you need the ball to do all 3 phases. You need the ball to skid, you need the ball to hook, and then you need the ball to roll. If you get those 3 things and get the ball on a 5 to 7 degree angle, hitting the 1-3 pocket, your chances of striking go way up. So that's the physics, the geometry of why we hook the ball and what it looks like down lane and what you need to do to increase your odds of getting a strike on every shot. Next video, we will be talking about how you hook the ball. Hello, this is Alan Berger with Bowling Over 50. Bowling Over 50 is sponsored by Ice Gear. ICE stands for something. It stands for I carry everything. It's a positive mental attitude. Something to give you a little strength and substance when you hit the lanes because you carry everything. We sell t-shirts, we sell jerseys like this. You can get a jersey like this, maybe not this crazy. We can put all kinds of logos on it, designs on there. Your bowling team's name we can put on there. And we have tons of t-shirts you can choose from as well. So go to icegear.shop and give us a try.